Okay, we'll call the meeting to order at 1:13. We'll do roll call. Terry is absent. Savannah,
Here.
Joel,
Here.
and I'm here as well. So we have quorum. All right. Item 2, review and approval of the legal action report from May 8th. Do I have a motion?
Yes, I'll move to approve the legal action report for the meeting of May 8th, as submitted.
Thanks, Savannah. Joel, do you have a second? Okay, I guess I will second. Okay,
I'll second. I'm sorry. I was.
that's all right. That's all right. Okay. So I guess we do roll call on that too. So Savannah,
Aye.
Joel,
Aye.
and I as well. So passes 3-0. Item 3 is the historic preservation zone review cases. We review these pursuant to UDC section 5.8-TSM, Historic District Design Guidelines, and the revised Secretary of the Interior Standards and Guidelines. Looks like we have 3 cases today. The first one is 3A, SD 1124000119 at 360 East 8th Street. Is the applicant online?
Yes, Mr.
Okay.
Chair, this will be presented to the subcommittee by Richard from Fourth Architecture. As you will see from the title, this is basically an outdoor patio, which is going to be constructed. It's a kind of change of use from what originally was the O'Malley train shed. This project was scheduled to be reviewed by the Design Review Board on May 16, but due to a lack of quorum, it was not reviewed. It is an IID project, Infill Incentive District project. So what will happen, Mr. Chair, members of the subcommittee, is that they will be rescheduled for the Design Review Board. If something significant comes out of that review, then they will need to come back to PROS. And even if something significant does not happen, they are going to provide staff with information on what the Design Review Board said, and staff will communicate that information to you. That is all I have as an introduction for today. I'm introducing here on behalf of my colleague Maria De Yeso, who's not here today. But Richard from Fourth Architecture is here to present the project.
Okay.
So, Richard, we can pass it over to you. And please let our presentation, John, like I said to everybody, let our presentation be concise, brief to the point, so that when Savannah leaves at 3 o'clock, we don't have a forum. So our goal is to finish here before 3 p.m.
Yeah, so we can save our questions till the end of Richard's presentation. And it's all yours,
Ray,
Richard.
you want to can I make him a co-host?
Yes,
okay.
I just did that, so he
You're
should be
already
good to go.
co-host.
You guys hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm going to share my screen with you guys. I can go pretty
Yes.
quick. Mine's relatively simple. I'll take you guys through it as quick as I can. So you should be, let's see, can you guys see my screen?
Yes.
All right. So this is a HPC portion of a special districts application. And I'm going to zoom in here. This is O'Malley's. I think people are pretty familiar with this part of the world. This is the area that I'm working in. The project is, this is the student housing, the Ali Ari. Over here is the hut, and some other 4th Avenue and 8th Street shops. The area that you're looking at right now in red, this is O'Malley's. It is historically designated. It has some adjacent structures that are not historic structures. And then the area in red here is the area of our project. We flip over here to the development zone map. Again, you can see the contributing structure O'Malley's. And then what happened at the start of this project, these were 3 individual parcels, and they have since been combined as requested of the development plan. So now this is one big parcel. So the area on the back which our project is actually now a part of this exact parcel. I'm going to kind of skip down. This is the historic property inventory form. This is O'Malley's, as everybody knows it. Here's a modern picture of it. This is again the front of O'Malley's, and this is kind of the side, and the big housing project in the back. And this little piece here is part of the area that I'm going to be that we're working in. I'm going to kind of skip down. Well, let me first give you guys quick context, right? So a few more pictures. This is the area in back of O'Malley's that you're looking at. This is where I'll kind of zoom in a little bit. This is largely where our project is going to be occurring. This was previously Old Pueblo Trolley repair maintenance yard that was purchased by the owner of O'Malley's, and he's been using it just for storage. He would like to convert it into a food. Again, as Michael mentioned, this is a change of use. This was previously storage and/or maintenance use, and now we're turning it into a food and beverage use. So we would like to turn this into a outdoor covered patio and some eating. Kind of skip. A few more. Let me zoom back out here. A couple more photos just for reference, right? Looking down the street. The side of O'Malley's over here is a tent that the hut has. This is the edge of back of my project. Looking across the street. Again, here's a little more reference for you guys. I think everybody's pretty familiar with this part of town. This building here, again, the hut across the street. Real quickly, again, looking at the intersection of 8th and 4th Avenue. And then immediately south of this project, again, this new student housing. This is a site plan of what we're proposing to do. Again, this is O'Malley's over here. And then this is the area that you see the tables and chairs. That is the covered existing covered structure where they used to service the hey Miguel, can you keep it down a little bit? You're Miguel. Sorry guys. Anyway, so this is an outdoor venue. We plan on putting. Can you quiet him down, John? So nice. This is outdoor venue, trees, games, and again, this kind of eating area. I'm going to give you guys this is a more telling photo than pretty much anything that we have here. So again, here you can see the back of O'Malley's. This is existing brick. This is the existing covered structure. And what we're planning to do is raise it up a couple of feet, put tables and chairs and fencing around it, and then new fencing around the outside with new plantings, landscapes, and again, turn this into a food F&B sort of amenity for O'Malley's. I'm going to show you guys. These are existing sort of elevations. If I jump back to here, just kind of take you guys through this real quick. So again, looking in this direction would be this elevation. And again, the existing brick, the existing covering, all that we would be adding that would be new here. So we're raising it up a couple of feet and we're putting a guardrail on this thing. Also the fence that you guys are looking at. Looking from let's see, from this way, is this elevation up on the top here. So again, the existing O'Malley's, it has a white painted brick on this side. Here's the covering, and then new fencing and new trees in this area. And then lastly, kind of looking from the north to the south, my last elevation, again, this part of O'Malley's is actually painted green, similar to what the photos I showed you. Existing covering, new fencing, new plantings. Take you guys through. There's a couple of just sort of renderings to show you what we're trying to do again. All existing, and then just largely populating with landscaping. One last view here, kind of if you're looking through, again, this would kind of be as if you're standing looking from this direction down A Street, and then the idea would be that it kind of looks like this, right? So again, everything largely existing, new fencing, new planters. This last sheet here is our material that they're proposing. Again, here's all the existing stuff on the top. New would be new fence, which we just looked at, new planters. There would be new black paint and a new guardrail. I'm gonna kind of jump back to this rendering. So what we're talking about here is we would like this guardrail in the back. It's going to be steel. We would like to paint it black. We would like the kind of we're talking about new weather decking. That's what we want to propose. Or you can kind of see in here the raised portion of it. We kind of want to, these posts are wood. We kind of want to do we want to use a reclaimed wood to kind of make a little bit of a raised deck. And then of course, again, the other materials that we looked at were all of the fencing and surrounds. Hopefully I didn't go too fast. Like I said, I think it was relatively simple. I'll open it up for questions right now.
Great.
Yeah,
Thank you,
before
Richard.
the question, Mr. Chair, before the question, I forgot to say that the review by the city design professional was part of the review material that was provided to the subcommittee. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Great. Yeah, we'll take some questions. Joel, do you want to start? Do you have anything? Hey, Joel, do you have any questions on this one? You're on mute.
Yes, there you go. Yeah, sorry. I just had really one question. It used to be the area that we're changing used to be a sort of a garage area where they maintain the streetcars and vehicles and things. Is that correct?
Exactly.
And my hope is that the food is just slightly less than is anticipated when you're done. So otherwise, looks like a great project. And that's a joke. That's a joke.
I'm
But
with you on
look,
that.
yeah. No, it looks fine to me. I think it's a good use of materials, and I think it's a sensitive use of the space. And I like it. I'm not a professional, so I always like to wait for them to comment, but it looks like a good project to me. So appreciate your presentation. Thank you.
Great. Thanks, Joel. Savannah, do you have any questions or comments?
I'm really just it was fast, so I was
Sorry.
just trying to catch up. But no, I don't. I mean, I think it's it nicely addresses the corner and is a good solution overall. I guess the question was the patio, it's at a different elevation than the rest of the yard. Is there a ramp down, or is it pretty separated?
Yeah, so at this point in time, you can see in this view, we have these two raised garage doors, and that were meant for for trucks, and we're planning on meeting those, and then these doors open right into O'Malley's. And the idea is that you would come out of O'Malley's. Now, at the end of the day, we would have to, in order to make access to this yard, we would have to put stairs or a ramp or something. There actually is a ramp in this elevation right here that comes out a door and goes down. There would be a potential to put a gate in and use this ramp, or else to provide a new ramp over here. You know, at this point in time, we would iron that out in the building review. And in the final DP, this point was just our concept for it. So we would have to figure that out. But the idea would be, yes, there should be some kind of connectivity between the outside and the raised patio.
Okay, yeah, I mean, I think that would be good, a little more universal access, but in terms of the the overall architecture, I don't really have any questions or concerns. It looks good to me.
Yeah, I think, yeah, it looks great to me as well. I'm glad to see that corner being put to use finally. One question, I think I remember like there were tracks into this yard at some point, and then they were disconnected and not connected to the streetcar line. Are any of those tracks still existent?
Yeah, this is a pretty recent photograph, and so this is the streetcar. This is the current tracks, and yeah, you can sort of see when I kind of zoom in here. It looks like those are all gone. They were there for a very long time. I remember as well too, and I don't really remember. This project has been a little long in the tooth. We've been working on this it's been in the planning stages for like 2 years. So I believe they're gone. Yeah, I'm looking at these photographs.
Okay. Yeah, that's all I would say is if you do find any when you're doing the hardscape or anything in there, it'd be cool to find a way to integrate that just as a little nod to the history of the place. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
architecturally everything looks good to me. I think you've met all the requirements. So
Great. Thank you.
all right. Is there a motion?
Ooh, I can do that.
Great.
All right, on the matter of SD dash 1124 dash 00119 at 360 East 8th Street. I move to recommend approval of the project as presented.
And I will second that motion.
Great. Thanks. If there's no discussion, we'll do roll call. Savannah,
Aye.
Joel,
Aye.
and I vote aye as well. So motion carries 3-0. Congrats, Richard. Good luck with your project. You're familiar with the next steps.
Yes, I am. Thank you very much. Appreciate all you
Great.
guys' time. I hope you guys make it out on time, Savannah. I did my part. Apologize for being so fast, but I appreciate you taking it all in. Take care,
No, it's all
everybody.
good. It was a thorough investigation.
Well, good.
Yeah.
Thank you so
Presentation.
much. All right. Good luck, everybody. Take care.
Bye. Thank you. All right. Next up is item 3B. And that is SD 0325 00040 at 407 East 2nd. Do you have any background, Michael?
Yes, Mr. Chair, this project was presented to West University Historic Zone Advisory Board on April 8th, 2025. West University voted 4-0 to recommend approval of the project as presented, including approval of setbacks. That's all I can present to you today.
Great. Thank you. And who's the applicant?
I will be the presenting this, Joan White, working with Rachel Sarah of Rouse Architecture.
Can you spell Rouse for us, please?
ROAS.
ROA.
ROAS.
Rouse.
Great. Alrighty. I believe you should have screen sharing ability. So whenever you're ready, you can go ahead with your presentation.
She does. Yeah.
All right. Can you see my screen?
Yes, we're just seeing
Yes.
that you started sharing the screen, but there's no content on it yet.
Wow. Okay, it's telling me it's sharing. Let me stop sharing and try this one more time.
It just started right
It
when
just
you clicked it.
flashed. Yeah.
You were good.
Let me know when you have it.
There we go.
Okay. Here we are. I am presenting
Hello.
for the 407 East 2nd Street, and we are proposing to demolish an existing storage garage, non-contributing property, to add a second residence to the back of this property. And as you can see right here on the absolute sheet 1, this is the property that we are discussing. And we have below it the development zone with the contributing properties within that area. The project is going to be a 1,200 square foot, 2-bedroom, 2.5 bath, with a carport and a upper deck and a garage. The second story is pushed to the back of the property. We are requesting to have a 0 lot line to the south and the west, the 6 inches on the east, and no change at all to the contributing home that was built in 1915. We have the street view here is the existing historic house, no changes. And then the street view is indicating some of the issues that we are resolved. We have the second structure in the back, which is taller than the existing contributing property by about, I think, 2 feet, 2 foot. But however, it is much below the adjacent property to the east at the 29-foot height. So we are within the height limitations for this project. We are requesting that the setbacks, if you were to take a look at these properties, they are in keeping with the prevailing setbacks of contributing properties within the neighborhood that have non-contributing structures in the back. The property to the east, which is 415, shows another two-story structure in the back, second residence. And that's what we are trying to follow along with that as well. Let me just drag you down to give you photographs of that particular area as well. So we have the 415 East 2nd, and you have this is the north-south elevation, and then we have the east elevation here, which, let's see if I have that other photograph. It does not appear to be on this particular version. But I have actually submitted for the demolition permit as well that would give us the opportunity to resolve or make sure that's set in place. The issue regarding the age of the garage, the demolition of the garage itself. Oh, here we go. This is the second addition or the second unit on 415, and it goes along the alleyway with a zero lot line, as well as the second story, setting precedence for the second story deck or the deck on the second story. This is the alley access to the property, and we are proposing to maintain the mass of this property, as well as the height limitation in the back. The height of the second story is all the way to the back of the property, ergo the visual from the street is marginal at best. You won't see it at all. The additional adjacent properties that we have also show that our setbacks, those two properties, I believe it is 434 and 448, have secondary structures on the lot line as well. They are also non-contributing, as the main units are contributing properties. So we're staying within the prevailing setbacks within the development zone. We have submitted the demolition permit. One of the requests was to verify the age of the garage, which the records did not show that it was what date it actually appeared. So in contact with Michael Sherman, I'm going to share another screen with you. Michael Sherman basically did some digging and discovered that there was nothing that they could determine the actual age. However, the property record card that he brought forward does indicate that the main structure was built in 1915. And then a note was added somewhere in the maybe mid 70s that the 1990 was the potential construction of the garage. It's a T111 wood structure, wood frame structure, and it really has nothing that indicates that it's older than. I believe he also tossed my way, and these will be submitted along with the package, the demolition package, to make sure that we don't have any problems with that going through. As far as materiality, we are going to be staying within the proportions and rhythm of the contributing properties in the surrounding neighborhood. So they're consistent with the existing contributing properties in the zone. We're minimizing the details. I'll go ahead and move this screen back and stop sharing. Hey, sorry, I don't have this on a PowerPoint for you. It was a kind of a last minute thing for me to jump on board. Let's see. I can show you the elevations of this. The alley is up to the north, obviously. We're gonna have access from the alley through the carport. And then out through the second floor to the upper deck. We will also have access to that deck within the yard itself. As far as the materials, we're dealing with everything consistent, and we're minimizing a lot of the detailing so as not to create a false sense of history on this building. For instance, the stucco will be smooth stucco. It will carry over some elements that you will see in the neighborhood itself. One will be metal awnings and concrete sills. The paints and paint colors will be those similar to those and consistent found in the neighborhood, with a white to a light tan stucco and dark gray or green or navy trim for some of the window, all the trim there. We're going to be dealing with wood doors and clad windows that meet and appear in size and scale similar to those on the contributing property and the surrounding neighborhood. So I believe I am fairly complete there. If there's any questions that I might be able to answer.
Okay, great, thank you. Joel or Savannah, do one of you want to start off?
I'll just, oh, go
Go ahead,
ahead,
Joel.
Savannah.
No, go
Okay.
ahead.
I'll just start with a general question. The address of the main residence is 402 East Second.
407.
Oh, it's 407
Mm-hmm.
East Second.
Mm-hmm.
And so what is the main cross avenue?
We have North 4th Avenue to the west and North Hoff Street or North Hoff Avenue to the east.
Hoff to the east. Okay, yeah, Hoff to the east. And what was and it was Fourth Avenue to the west. Have I got
Correct.
that right?
Correct.
Okay, I'm just trying to picture where this is. Okay. And do you have a front elevation for this for 407 East Second? Somewhere in the packet
Yes,
there.
right here we have the existing street elevation as well as the photo on the side here of the
And
current home.
can you point, I'm sorry, I can't see it. I'm blind. Oh, is this it here? This historic house, no changes?
Correct. Here, let me bring that up a little more if that
Okay.
helps you. I see if I can get that to.
That would help me. I'm 71. I go blind a little bit. Yeah.
There you go.
Got it. Oh yeah. Okay, I know that. Yeah, okay.
Great.
Got it.
Any other questions, Joel?
Nope.
Okay,
That's that. I've got it now. I've got a picture of it. Okay, good. Thank you.
The residence to the east has a secondary living unit as well to the north.
Yes, non-contributing secondary unit to the north, and that will be, let me bring you down to the photographs here. So we have, let me just give you the main front view of that house. This is the main view of 415 East Second, which is on the east, as you can see. And then as we go through, again, there's another small close-up here. This is the, let me take this down just a little bit. This would be viewing this from the east. And as we continue forward, these are across the street. We have, this is the secondary unit behind 415, which is a 2-story non-contributing with an upper deck. And you can see a driveway coming off of Hoff. There we go. So this is the view looking west. at the non-contributing structure behind 415.
Right. And my recollection is that there's no way out to the east, that if you're coming out of there, you would be coming out of the west. Is that correct?
The actual, I was gonna say the actual property access to what we're doing is right here behind this structure. And this
Yeah.
is heading east onto Hoff Street. So this is the access to the North Hoff Avenue.
Got it.
Say.
Yeah, yeah. But otherwise, that's the only access out.
Correct.
Yeah. I thank you. Good.
You're welcome. And the one other photograph that I do believe you might want to take a look at would be, where is it? This is the backside of the building below. This is the parking area currently being used by the 407 property.
Right. Right.
And then on that note, just so that you can see it, this is the structure that we are looking to remove. This is looking from the alleyway, removing the structure and placing the second unit in this area. I believe that tree is gone at this point. It was very, I think it was not well and very, very dangerous at that point. So if it isn't gone at this point, they're going to be removing that tree.
It should be, yeah. Gotcha. All right. Yes, good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, sorry. So the property to the east, that ADU, what are its setbacks?
0 on the alley. And
0
that's-
on the alley?
Yeah, that's what we're proposing, the same reduction in setback, which the West University approved due to let's see where we are. So we're requesting to match the prevailing setback within the development zone. The new one will have a 0 on the north and the west property line and 6 inches on the east property line. The front setback will not change where the main residence is. And we found those similar setbacks were found in the contributing properties at 415, 438, and 448, that they've all included non-contributing buildings at the 0 foot, 0 inch setback.
Okay, and that's just shown in your narrative, not in the drawings, right? Not finding it in
Let
the
me go
drawings.
ahead and bring you up to the main drawing here. I'll point those out for you. It looks like I have a little issue here with line scale, but
I see your
So-
setbacks, but the neighboring property setbacks I don't see.
right. Which
Okay.
of course we don't have that I mean, going back on that property was impossible, but based on everything that we can see from this east property, it's in line with that back wall, which is the property line as you go down the alley. So that would be right.
Okay, so that property line is confirmed to line up with the
The other property
neighbor.
line.
Okay. I mean, I just think that staff should just verify that, right? It's not clear in the drawings. And then do you have an access easement on their property for the new gate?
I do not know the answer to that at this point, but obviously having that taken care of during the process, once we get through that, that would be obviously something that would be requested. And if not,
where
no
it
gate
says
would be-
new, not where it
Oh.
says new metal, yeah, new metal gate. That's on your neighbor's property?
Right, this one here, and there's also a new, I'm sorry, I was looking at this new metal fence, so, but that would definitely have to be, responded to once this is approved.
Okay, and then parking is off the alley. There's a garage and then there's a space behind it for a second.
Correct.
What does that structure look like? I have a hard time understanding what that is. It's just like a,
Let
is
me
it a
see.
shaded structure? Is there a structure?
It'll be a
that's covered?
carport. It'll be a covered carport, which when we do, let me take you to the floor plans here. So we have, let me take it down just a little more so you can see the entire building. There we go. So first floor plan, we have a carport, you know, not closed in, and then a stacked in garage. And then on the second floor, obviously, this is where the bedroom will cover through here, and then this will be an open deck at a lower elevation with a courtyard
Okay.
between the
Your
existing house. Yeah.
your presentation drawings look better than the submitted ones, which are north is down.
Well,
It's
and
very
that was
confusing.
one of the errors, and we flipped it, and I had this taken care of, and it didn't load back in properly, I believe, on the second request, because that just came to my desk. I think it was last Friday. So I made the corrections, and this is what my attempt is to get in there. I was unable to upload again for some reason. The demolition plan only uploaded a portion of it as well. So I have to now wait until June 2nd, according to the folks I called down at the city, until the reviewers have time to look at what was submitted for the historic demolition package. And then I can resubmit any additional information, which would be the photos of all four sides, the photo documentation for historic demolition. In the event that this is considered historic, I did, as I said before, I did receive some photographs from Matthew Sherman of the assessor's office, because there was nothing online that we could obtain or get to. So he sent me, to find him here. Just have them in. Excuse me, I have so many windows open, as we all know. Let's see, where is it? Email. Not showing me.
I'm sorry, what are you looking for?
I'm looking for some additional photos for you for the garage and the assessor's record card
I
on
don't-
the age of the structure. Yeah, the age of that garage structure was in debate, and it's not appearing until 1990. So
Okay, my question was about what your north elevation looks like and what your proposed carport looks like.
north elevation, my apologies. Let me pull that back up.
I feel like that's really the only one. I mean, you see it from the alley, but that's the one I'm trying to understand, and I don't see at least in the previous submittal, any sort of structure.
The elevations here we have from the alleyway looking
Yeah.
to the north. This is the north elevation. So we have the carport here. This is this solid wall of the carport coming around. And then obviously that is the garage beyond.
Got it. Okay, so it's covered by the second level above.
Correct.
Okay, it's open. Okay. Okay, I'll let other people ask questions. I think I understand everything now.
Okay. I had a couple questions. I don't see any mechanical equipment on the plan. Can you describe where the outdoor mechanical equipment is located and how it's screened?
That has not yet been finalized as far as construction documentation. However, let me just see if I can get this turned off. We have some side yard areas. We could obviously, mini splits are one of the possibilities for this unit. And so we have some side yard areas that we could do off to the side here, which would be out of view. Where is it?
Okay.
So they would be on the south side or the west side?
The west side.
Okay.
Because the existing house is to the south here, obviously that doesn't appear to be a fairly good location. And we have a garden, this courtyard garden area where there are some fruit trees. And that's kind of the hope would be to keep that as a nice area for both units.
And the Sorry, Andrew,
Oh, you're good.
this, I was just, where the property line does jog, is that access to your, west neighbors, like back? side of the
Yes, I believe it
property?
is, and it's an odd property line, ergo, that's why the request for a 0 lot line at the corner of the building here. This is the property line, right? And so we have a carport that is open, but there's an existing wall, landscape site wall here. So this is it's been open, not being used. I think I can even take you to show you the photograph of that. If I just sit
Yeah,
down.
I was mostly just curious. I mean, is it for a car to drive back there?
No, it's
For
not
them?
large enough for a car at all. Now, as you can see by this particular little image here, let me zoom in for you. It doesn't have any access behind there. It also has vegetation as well, which is a nice buffer.
So did they use it? I mean, is it?
No, that is just open to the alley. This piece here is just open.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah, nothing has been built in there or placed in there.
But this property doesn't see that as an access versus, I don't know, it's weird.
It's a
You're good.
it's a site wall that just randomly was put in how many years ago.
But you wanted access on the east, not the west. I mean, it just seems like it's kind of set up for access instead of getting onto your neighbor's property, right? Or
Well, this is this wall, which would continue out towards us on the right-hand side of the screen. There is no access to the west over to North 4th Avenue. Those are homes back in there. So trying to think if we were to look at this particular visual, where is it? I know we had it here. Because we were looking for those east. Now it's in here.
it's okay. I mean, I've got the street view
So
up.
this is the access coming from the east. This is the alleyway that you would drive out to Hoff, over to Hoff. And if we go further down on this is that secondary structure adjacent. And if you look at this one, you can see again the access off of Hoff Street into that property. This is the end of that wall that you were seeing, and there's no way to continue on to north. So we don't have access over to North 4th.
Sorry, Andrew, go ahead. It's just,
No, you're good. Yeah, I would just say maybe verify all the property lines when you finalize. They are strange.
Yeah.
And
all downtown properties, I mean, you'd be foolish not to do a survey.
Yeah, yep. On I believe it is page or A 2.1, just wanted to clarify the windows and doors. So they're called out as wood-clad doors and wood-clad windows. Are those aluminum-clad wood windows and doors?
Unknown at this point.
Okay.
Metal clad for sure, whether it be
Okay.
aluminum or.
Okay. So they're a metal-clad wood window and a metal-clad wood door.
Correct.
Okay. I would just clarify that on the drawings, probably. And then just to verify the walls are ICF.
Yes.
Okay. The only thing, just looking at the plan, and maybe it's updated in the version that you're presenting, but in the version that we have, they look like the windows are justified pretty close to the exterior face of the house, and I would want to see those, or I would want to see those windows inset to kind of match the character of the main house and the development zone.
Okay. one of the things that I wanted to avoid was obviously minimizing some of the details. Again, not to give it a false narrative of history. I mean, it certainly will maintain minimal, but at the same time consistent with the elements that you already see. Kind of a wink to them, or an homage to the elements they are. And if it means recessing windows, they do have concrete sills, which obviously support what you see on the main house, and
Yep.
in many of those neighborhoods.
Yeah, I think it just falls into the you know, rhythm and pattern just with the depth of those windows and how it reads on the as a whole. So
Mhm.
I think those are my only questions. If there's nothing else, Joel and Savannah, how do you guys feel about a motion?
Mr. Chair,
Mhm.
so I would like to add for the applicant that when you do submit your final revised design package, please, for the structure that is going to be demolished, the garage, make sure you put in the property record card which you just showed here, which will show the year of construction to be 1990.
Yes.
And then we are talking about setbacks here. I would like you to clearly in your comment response letter, both on that and on plans, show exactly what are the setbacks that you are actually requesting that should be waived. Show what is prevailing, what is existing, and what is being proposed, and show the
On the,
direction.
I'm sorry, Michael, so that would be, you're asking on the documentation for this package to identify those setbacks clearer?
Yes, ma'am.
So resubmit, are you asking them to resubmit this package
Yeah, they will resubmit
into the
package.
demolition package? I'm
No,
not,
no. Yeah, if you are submitting the demolition package separately, that should be part of the demolition package.
okay, so you want the setbacks noted on that site plan, which is the site plan for the demolition of the structure. You want the
No,
setbacks?
no. The setbacks should be part of this main project here. There've been a lot of discussion here. You're talking about prevailing setback. I want you, in your comment response is this thing is for waiving the setback on the north side of this, where the existing prevailing setbacks are say 10 feet. We are proposing 3 feet. On the east elevation, at this, we are proposing this. I want that to be on your comment response.
So you don't want it here on the actual drawing, but you want it in the narrative.
No. They have to be on the drawing. Both.
Right. Okay, 6 inches here, and I'm looking here as well. I don't see on this drawing, obviously, the 0 setback to the north and to the west. So what you're asking is have that added to this particular drawing to make sure it's clarified.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. So how do you all feel about a motion? I think we may have a
Sure.
couple
I have-
conditions.
I
Yep.
have provided demolition plan and documentation for the garage structure to be removed. I have verified property lines and prevailing setbacks.
Sorry, I was
Uh,
jumping ahead of you.
No, you're fine, Michael. I mean, I just, yeah, it's just it's a complicated one, so
Yeah.
it's good to get it all really straightened out. I have windows and doors to be metal clad wood, right?
Mhm.
And that is in this particular package here.
I think it needs to be corrected though, because it says wood clad,
Yeah.
right?
Does it
Mhm.
say wood clad? My apologies.
That's okay.
I didn't draft these up, but
And then I guess increase and make consistent the exterior inset for doors and windows.
Mhm. And then do you want to add anything on the mechanical since it's not shown?
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
I don't really want to look at it as a minor review, but if we can just say that it it needs to be located or in an area where it's not visible or screened from the front yard. Maybe that covers it.
Yes, I prefer that too. Minor
Yeah.
reviews are just,
Yeah, we don't need any more.
no.
Screened from the front yard, but or also from the alley.
I think it would just be the front yard because this alley, I think, is just a private easement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So really it could go anywhere back there.
Yeah,
I think, right? It's
I think
Yeah.
so.
screened
Technically,
from the
yeah.
front yard. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it's ground mounted, right, Joan? It's not going to
Yes,
be up
it
on
would
the
be
roof.
ground mounted. Yes.
Okay. And then in your motion, Savannah, do you want to reiterate the setbacks?
Sure. I
I
think
think Luna did them as well.
The north is 0, the east is 6, and the west is 0.
Yeah.
Okay.
Joke.
So I have 4 items here. Am I correct? One is verifying the property lines, which
Yeah, well, Savannah will make the motion
Cool.
right now,
Okay.
and then that will become part of the LAR.
Yeah.
So you'll get a copy of all of that.
Great, thank you.
All right. I think I'm ready.
Yeah.
I have it typed up too, Andrew, so I'll send it to
Okay.
you. Are you doing the minutes too?
Michael's doing it, but Terry
Okay, I'll
asked if you can send
I'll
it to
send it
me, Michael, and Terry. Yeah. So
Yeah.
Sounds good. Okay, well, on the matter of SD-0325-00040 at 407 East 2nd Street, I move to recommend approval of the project as presented with the following conditions. That the applicant provided demolition plan and documentation for the garage structure to be removed. To verify property lines and prevailing setbacks. The north setback is approved as 0. The west setback is approved as 0, and the east setback is approved as 6 inches. That windows and doors to be metal clad wood. To increase and make consistent the exterior inset of the doors and windows, and mechanical equipment to be ground mounted in an area screened from the front yard.
And I second that motion.
great. We'll do roll call. Savannah,
Aye.
Joel,
Aye.
and I vote aye as well. Thank you, Savannah.
Sure.
Alrighty, so we've made the motion. Joan, you will get a copy of that, and if you have any questions on the next steps, you can get in touch with Michael.
Thank you.
Great. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Alrighty, next item is item 3C. This is SD 0225-00031 at 628 East 5th Street. This is construction of a new ADU. School review in West University. Michael, is there any background you want to add?
Yes, Mr. Chair, members of the subcommittee. This project was also reviewed by West University Historic Zone Advisory Board on April the 8th, 2025. They voted 4-0 to recommend approval as presented, subject to the following conditions. That the drawings need to reflect wood doors versus fiberglass. That the demolition of the existing non-contributing shed and the use of a smooth stucco for the finish.
Sorry, what was that, Michael, on the demo of the shed and the
Yeah, I
smooth
think
stucco?
they're saying that they moved to approve the demolition of the existing non-contributing shed
Okay,
and the use of smooth stucco for the finish.
gotcha. Thanks. Alrighty. is the applicant here and ready to present?
Yeah, we're Tom and M Hill. We just basically what we just wanted to do was thank everybody and thank you guys for the stuff you're doing. We started this process in November of 2023, and we've been in the House since 1983. Unfortunately, because of the time and the elapsed stuff, the price, because of the tariffs of the project, has now gone completely out of our budget. So we will not be continuing with it. We submitted the plans as requested by West University, and we did that, but we didn't want to just drop off and say, oh, forget this. Mostly, we just wanted to say thank you to Michael. We don't know you guys yet, but you guys are all wonderful. That's taken forever, but it's a lovely process. Just so you know, this was one of the plans that that was in the Casita contest. That was pre-approved. Unfortunately, it wasn't actually pre-approved, but it was one of those plans, and that's why we selected it. So we don't need any further action on this item, but we did want to express as longtime West University neighborhood people how much we appreciate all of the hard work you guys put in, and we thank you for making our neighborhood such a lovely place.
Well, thank you. I'm sorry to
Wow.
hear the project's not moving ahead. Maybe better times are ahead, and you'll bring it back to us in the future. But
Yeah.
it's a nice looking project, and thank you for updating us on it, and good luck. We hope to see it come through one day.
Perfect. No, perfect, and thank you guys, honestly. This has not been a tough process at all. It's just been a long one, but it's out of everybody's control. I mean, just so you know, that the actual price differential of the project went up over $100,000 from start to finish, but especially the vast majority of that was tariffs, and that's through multiple builders. So so we can't do it, but thank you. And again, you guys are all doing a great job keeping the West University looking great.
Well, thank you. We appreciate that, and hope you have a good weekend.
You too. Thank you so much.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Alrighty. Well,
Bummer.
yeah, that was a nice one. I was looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. All right. I guess that's it for the review cases. Item 4, Task Force on Inclusivity report recommendations, discussion on best practices for naming of city and county-owned physical assets. I don't think we have anything on this unless anyone's aware of any items.
No.
Okay. All right. Moving on. Item 5, current issues for information and discussion. 5A is minor reviews. Michael?
We have 3 signs that were done this time, and Commissioner Christopher and Terry helped me to work and get this done. The 3 signs were 2639 East Broadway, 2637 East Broadway, and 130 South Scott Avenue. The ones on Broadway are in the Sunshine Mile District. The 130 South Scott is a children's museum. So those 3 signs were done inside this week. And again,
Yep.
thanks Andrew for always being there to help us out. That's
Sure,
what I
no problem.
have for the minor reviews conducted so far. I do have a bunch of them that are pending, and I will be shipping it out to Andrew. And then I have many of them that are in West University, Commissioner Ireland, and the chair will need to let me know what day they can do that. Basically, those ones are going to be on-site review because Commissioner Ireland likes on-site. Rick, the chair, also likes on-site. So I will provide a list to them, and they will tell me typically what day they really want to do it. I'm going forward for most of this on-site review. I would like to just have a specific day that we do them. In the past, I used to do Fridays. I may go back to doing a lot of them on Fridays. So I will talk with Joe and we'll figure that out. That's what I have for my own.
Okay,
And
great.
that'd be great. That'd be fine.
Thank you, Joe.
Thanks, Michael. 5B, any appeals?
No, Mr. Chair.
Okay. 5C, zoning violations.
Standard, whenever they come forth, we normally bring them to you for review. We have a couple of them that we're working on them, but they're not yet ready for your review. As soon as we get them, we're going to let you know.
Okay. And then 5D, review process issues. I think Desiree, you maybe had some points to go over
Yeah.
from that email with Terry.
Yes, I think I know what you're referring to, but if I'm missing anything, feel free to add. I would like to see us kind of advise applicants to, keep their presentation within 10 minutes. And then if commissioners and committee members could hold questions until the end of presentations, like today, that's what we did. I thought it went really well. I don't know how you all thought. But yeah, in previous presentations I've seen, it can kind of drag out when it becomes more of like a discussion along the way. So
Yeah,
just
I
something.
agree. I think
Okay.
it was much smoother because of that today for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Cool.
So yeah, we just have to remind applicants to kind of give them a heads up on what to present or, kind of how to structure their presentation within that time frame.
Yeah.
And then yeah, to Michael's point, we were trying to discuss minor reviews because right now our minor reviews are actually taking longer than our full reviews just because there's so many of them, right? So we discussed, having certain days for doing those site visits and because, each of the coordination, like if we kind of do one-offs, it's a ton of work to coordinate, for all of our various committees. So if Fridays work well, that seems to work for Michael. Hopefully that works for you all, but you all can discuss that, what works best for those folks who are actually out going and joining us on the site visits.
Yeah. Do you know, Desiree, or maybe Michael has a better idea of the on-site reviews? Are those mostly in West University or are they kind of all over?
No, they are all over. It just depends on when people are available and what determine their preference is.
I
West
see.
University, I'm talking of on-site because I know Joey, who is doing for West University, likes on-site. Rick, who is the chair of West University, likes on-site. So that is why I'm calling their own on-site. For Avenue Park, when John Burr was on the advisory board, he wanted all their reviews to be on-site. And so sometimes I'll have to tap on Joy to help me so that we can go on site to meet his request. And his
Okay.
request was most of those reviews were late during the day. He couldn't do early morning reviews. He wanted reviews to be done after 11 o'clock or something like that. So that is how it is. So to answer your question, Andrew, we still do both on-site and Zoom.
Yeah. Okay. Well, it sounds like Fridays work well for Joel, and then in the event that there's something Joel can't cover, Fridays are pretty decent for me too. I usually work
Okay.
remote and I try and do most of my site visits on Friday, so I'm kind of out and
Oh,
about
okay.
anyway.
Oh,
So
okay.
Yeah.
if you guys want to proceed with just setting us,
Uh-huh.
setting that as the schedule that the on-sites are on Friday, and then follow
Oh,
up with, yeah,
that
I
would
think,
surely help. That would
yeah,
surely help.
I
That's
think
what I used
I
to
think
do
we can do that.
before. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's just fine with me. That's perfect.
Yeah, I'm
great.
just glad that Desiree is on board with that. That's what I
Yeah.
used to do before, but it was a change of policy. So we're trying to go back to that and see how it works.
Yeah.
If you
Well,
are
yeah,
good on Friday, Joe is good on Friday, that is much better for us because we can send any of the advisory board and be sure that we get something like that.
yeah. Okay, cool. Fridays it is, and I guess we can always adjust going forward if it's not working. So,
Yep.
alrighty. Anyone else have any review process issues? Nope. Alrighty. Item 6, summary of public comments. Did we receive any by the deadline, Michael?
No, we
Okey-doke.
didn't.
Alrighty. And then item 7, future agenda items. Or
I
it says next scheduled meeting is May 22nd, but I think it's
Uh-oh,
June.
that was a typo.
There's a typo.
June something. I forget what date it is.
June 12th.
Okay.
Yes.
June 12th.
Yes.
Yeah, so I have a couple updates and questions as well for you all. So for June 12th, we do have a few project reviews. We have 2 project reviews. And the main thing I wanted to discuss with you all was potentially to set up a special meeting for the Fox Theater expansion related demolitions. We did get the demolition application for those buildings on Stone and Congress. And we have a specific time frame that we need to review that in. Well, PRS does, right? So I was discussing with Terry some potential dates. We were thinking of a special meeting on Thursday, June 5th, potentially. I also do want to let you know the application is 598 pages. So I want to make sure that you all have time to, digest the materials. But we're thinking of doing a special meeting versus kind of putting it on the June 12th meetings, just so we can keep our other items moving forward and not, put everything on one agenda. So that was
Okay.
one date. She also mentioned June 3rd. I didn't know if that was enough time. But those were the 2 dates she had mentioned.
June 5th is good for me. How about you, Savannah and Joel?
I'm
Uh,
driving back from Bisbee, but I should be back in town by 2. So
Okay.
if it's a little later, I'm safer to be there for sure.
Okay.
June 5th is fine with me at any time. So, yeah.
Okay. What, and the other one was the 3rd, Desiree?
And
Yes.
3rd, I'm fine the 3rd all
Okay.
day.
Is the 3rd better for you, Savannah?
No.
No.
Except if it's in the morning. I'm free in
Okay.
the morning on the 3rd, but the afternoon I'm not.
Okay.
Sorry.
So
All
it
right.
sounds like the 5th is probably better, and it'll have to be in the afternoon, sometime after 3.
Okay.
After
Yeah.
after
Or
3.
or what did
I'm
you
good
say?
at
Sorry.
2. I'm good at 2. It's just the
Oh,
regular
2.
1
Okay.
o'clock.
Got you.
Okay.
I'm
Okay.
probably back in town at 1:30, so
You
2
want to
would
do
be
2 o'clock?
safe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry.
Great. So we can do June 5th at 2 p.m.
Okay. And then Desiree, you said that this is just the demo that we're reviewing?
Right. So, I actually have a little chart. Let me show you guys.
I'm curious how they made this over 200 pages. Is a lot of it just kind of boilerplate stuff like asbestos reports and
So
things like that, or is it actual like documentation?
some of it is documentation, like the inventory form and some of the National Register. Sorry, try to adjust my screen here. A lot of it is economic feasibility, right? So that's part of the demolition application for contributing properties. They're required to attach, include a lot of different information, including kind of, the proposed replacement plan, as well as, economic information, real estate, kind of appraisal information or comparables, and just to show that they made, that they have an economic hardship, you know, that they looked at alternatives, things like that. So that's why the application is so large.
Okay.
But yeah, so the process here, and I won't get too much into it, but just so you have a sense of what, our timeline, the application was filed actually in early May. We had to review it for completeness, that it had everything that was required. And then it's scheduled for you all to review. And then it will go to mayor and council, and it's ultimately mayor and council's review and decision. If the application is denied, it kind of ends this process. If it is approved, then kind of kicks off the rest of the kind of the second portion of the process, which is looking at the replacement plan. But the applicant will provide more information about their plans in terms of timing of, you know, if they were to obtain a demolition permit, when they would actually demolish the building. And there's, they have kind of a plan, a proposed plan laid out. So I'll let them explain that to you themselves, but this is basically the process.
Okay. And you have it down there, and that's my understanding as well, is that they need to get a DP and go through the RNA and all of that before their demolition permit is issued, right? So the
Correct.
demolition doesn't get issued to the very end of this very long chain.
Right. So it would be a
Okay.
few years away
Okay.
in reality. But they want to know kind of what direction to go in right before they invest more time and energy into, you know, preparing construction plans and
Yeah.
and that route.
Okay.
So
And is there a protest period as part of the demolition, or no? Or sorry, of the mayor and council decision?
like an appeal
Yeah.
period, that's a good question. I'm actually not sure, but I can find out.
Okay. Okay. Cool.
I
Thank you.
think when it goes to mayor and council, there is a time for public comments that members of the public can comment on this before mayor and council makes a final decision.
Okay.
You can come to mayor and council hearing and then voice your concern. You just have to come and fill the card. Mayor and council will call you up to do 1 or 2 minutes presentation, protest, or whatever you do.
Okay. Yeah.
Did you say it's like a mayor and council, it's like a special session or study session or something? Is
It will be
is there
I
one
believe
public,
it's a study session, but that's another good question.
and does the public go to that? I mean, there's a public comment period,
No,
right?
if it is just a study session, the public does not. If it is a public session, then the public gets involved.
But I believe this is a public process. I can
Yeah,
get some
this
clarity for you.
particular one will be a public process.
Okay. Yeah, because I know we did get a letter from Tucson Preservation Foundation with kind of a myriad of concerns, but this was one of them that they have their eye on. So I'm sure there'll be lots of
Oh
public
yeah.
comment.
Oh yeah. Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Trust me.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then
Okay.
if there are no more questions on that, we do have a few other items that we'll be looking to schedule at some point in June. So we would have the Fort Lowell design guidelines come back to you all. There are also 2 city projects that are going to historic landscapes, Himmel Park, and then the former Econo Lodge building, which is going to be Stone Avenue Youth Transitional Housing. So there's landscape plans going to them. I'm not sure yet. I need to look back at the LARs to figure out if you all wanted to see them again or if you just wanted an update. So I still need to figure that out, but just to know that they are going to historic landscapes on the 29th. Then we have the Lower Pebble House. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. National Register nomination that we received from SHPO. So we have a courtesy review of that we'll be bringing to you all. And then there's the middle housing state legislation that we'll be bringing an update to you at some point as well. So those are some future items.
Cool.
The middle
Alrighty.
housing presentation, that would just be to this group, not the overall commission?
That I'll see what Terry wants to do. I know that she wanted a presentation on that, so we can do it to either or both.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, that's all I have.
Great. Do you have any update on the Santa Rita Park process? I know there wasn't an action item. I was just curious if the Parks Department has updated
We
anything.
don't have an update aside from, so we're waiting on an inventory form evaluation of the building itself. The landscape subcommittee also heard, and you all heard it. It's last I heard from the staff was that they were working with their architects and designers to see feasibility of some of the recommendations. So I haven't heard since then, but I can also add that to the list for one of our upcoming meetings for an update.
Okay, yeah, I think that'd be good. All right, thanks, Desiree.
You're welcome.
Alrighty, does anyone have anything else?
There are some other projects that are ready for your review, so myself and Desiree just need to figure out which ones come to you on that day. In addition to these ones that she has mentioned, we have 425 North Court Avenue for some new addition in air procedure. We have 538 West 17th Street for a rear porch, existing porch. And then we have, that one is the value. And then, of course, I also had the Heber Park, which Desiree has already mentioned to you here. So those are the two other ones that we have pending. We have to decide which one we bring to you on the 12th.
Okay. Thank you, Michael. I believe that is it then, unless anyone else has anything to add. We will call this adjourned at 2:30. Wow.
Good job. Good
Thank
job,
you.
Andrew.
Yeah, good job.
Thank you.
Good
Great.
job.
Well,
I
it's
feel bad that I rushed Richard.
Pre-
I mean, I
know.
didn't mean to, but
no.